So after some great feedback on the A series cylinder head lamp that we produced a couple of weeks back, I'm going to continue these sort of projects and carry out a lamp build on a 1940s scissor jack. Now, I have never seen one with this sort of movement before, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it. I have produced a lamp previously using a 1970s scissor jack, but this one, the movement is awesome. So let me show you what I've got, and let's see what we can make of this vintage scissor jack. So here we are then, guys. Not sure if it's everyone's cup of tea, but maybe it's just something to do with me being a mechanical engineer that I find things like this really, really interesting. But yeah, I've not seen this movement before, and the way that it all tucks into itself, and the movement is incredibly smooth. Now, I did spend a good few hours actually cleaning this up. It was thick with grease and muck and dirt, possibly for all of those years. But it's clean and it's as good as I can get it without really damaging the patina, because I do want to retain it. When I've produced one of these before, I've kept the patina and I've just used some clear lacquer just to retain it, and it does look incredible. I don't like to remove what has been produced over many, many years. So yeah, it is as clean as I'm happy with, and I think with a little scrub down of some wire wool, I'm sure the lacquer will adhere to this and it will give it a really good protection. So that's what I'm going to do first. So I only actually picked this up yesterday, so I'm still yet to order all the other bits and pieces we require, like the bulb holder kit with all the wire and the plug, etc. The same as this one. And also I'm going to order some American number plates. So instead of using a funnel like we did with this one as the lampshade, I'm going to use two American number plates, which we use in 2 halves. So to mount the number plates, I just buy a cheap lampshade and I remove the fabric and retain the frame. Then we use some P-clips, but I will show you how I do that. But yeah, this is what I use, so at least I have one of these spare. But yeah, I'll get on and I'll order the wiring kit. And whilst that is being ordered, I can at least give this the lacquer, let it dry for a couple of days, and then this is ready for us to yeah, hopefully produce into what I think will be a beautiful looking table lamp. So the number plates for the lampshade have now arrived. So what I'll do before I get them into the curved shape we require, I'm going to give them a quick clean with some WD-40 and a very fine wire wool, just to get rid of all those years of God knows what ingress. But they're pretty clean overall. But yeah, we'll try and get them as clean as possible. And then, yeah, I'll show you what I use to get them into the curved shape. And then we can get those mounted to the frame and at least then get our lampshade built. Okay, so that's much better. And what's unusual about these is this coating. You think it's coming off, which it is, but it's like rough. And then what I realised is that is like a reflective coating that's put on it. So then I assume at night, when the headlights hit it of oncoming vehicles, it reflects, so then you can actually see the number plate. And I've never seen that before. I've only ever seen them just painted. So yeah, really unusual. But I like these with the black and yellow. I just like them. and I wasn't going to do a matching pair originally, but yeah, these popped up, so I thought I had to have them. So yeah, they've come out well. So now let's get them curved, and then we can set about mounting them to our frame. So that seems to have worked. So yeah, using some bits and pieces which I've collected over the last few weeks, one of which being this, which is what I used. This is a vintage, I'm not quite sure what year yet, but a vintage just sprayer, really. Got the pump here. But yeah, this is some of the stuff that I like to collect. It's brass. Clean it up. But this may become something, we don't know. But anyway, that's what I used this time, and it's about perfect for the diameter required. So I've already done one, and you can see it pretty much matches what we need here. So obviously this will be pinched in like so once we've got the bracketry and stuff, but otherwise they mount perfectly. So there we have the lampshade. So to hold these all together, I make some straps out of some thin aluminium, which I have here. So I've just cut this just shy of 1 inch in width. So what I'll do is I'll put these on the inside like that. I'll mark the holes and drill them and secure them. And I'll do that with both the top and the bottom. And on the top part, we secure our P-clips. And that's what then clamps onto the frame here, holds it all together. So I'll get these trimmed up and cut them to the right length, mark the holes, drill those, and then we can start mounting it. I've then marked it with the pen, so I can cut this excess off, and then that will be the size required. So then when we get our 2 number plates, like this, I know that's going to be the right diameter for us to then mark the holes and then bolt it. And you want to do that twice, one for the top and one for the bottom. So there you go, there's one where we've got a drill, and there are 2. So once I've got the first one attached, I'll then lay the second one against it, pull the strap in, mark it, and they should be bang on. So I'm just using some button head 6mm bolts, which will disguise lovely in there. And hopefully this goes on first time. And to be fair, they are a little bit too long, so I might cut them down. But with the top ones, remember, we're going to be using P-clips to secure this, so it's that little bit more rigid. And that's nice and tight, which is how we want it. So just like that. Obviously this isn't perfectly round. Where the plate's more rigid, where the numbers are, you'll see that it sort of creases in between. I can't help that. That's just what happens, unfortunately, but it's pretty much there. And it's going to hold its shape. So all we need to do now is get the second one. Punch this in. Try and get this So this finishes there, and we'll do that both sides, and I'll do one at a time. So I'll do this side first, put a bolt in place to hold it, and then I'll pull this side round, mark the second hole, drill that, put a bolt in, and we should all be good. So there is the first strap fitted, guys. Fits nice. The other plates are pretty square to each other. I'm yet just to do the bottom strap, but that's just going to be a replica of exactly what we've done there. Fit it tight and it should be that little bit easier. Now we've got the top one in. There you go, guys. Nice and rigid. So, as I said, we could place this inside, just like that, and it's not going to go anywhere. And that's how I've done it before, and I've been more than happy with that. But for now, let's get the P-clips on, let's make this secure, and then this is ready to be mounted to the bulb holder, which is next, and I'm going to mount it to our scissor jack. So done the pilot hole. This needs to go to 10mm or literally just over, which will suit the fixing for the bulb holder. So I'll do that. I'll get to 10mm. I'll give this a quick clean with some wire wool, and then I'll get this into some lacquer, and then that will be ready for when the bulb holder turns up, which should be in a day or two, and we can get that fitted. We can then work out how we're going to wrap our cable around this to come out the bottom, fit the rocker switch, fit the plug, and that is the electrics done for this. So there you go. It did bite a little bit, the 10mm bit, but I got it through. So now that is all ready for the lacquer. So once that is done, we get the bulb holder, we can get that fitted. The lampshade is pretty much done. So we are now on track to have everything ready to just literally bolt together and have ourselves a completed table lamp. Okay, so a couple of days have passed and the lacquer is now cured on the scissor jack. But I've also completed the build of the lampshade. So let me show you those. Okay, so the lampshade first. A couple of coats of lacquer, just to give these a bit of protection, and it gives it a nice little shine. It's the first time that I've done the straps as well as the P-clips, and I'm happy to report that it is a much better job. Very, very secure. So really happy with that. And I'm really happy with how this has come out. The scissor jack, as mentioned, I have given it a couple of coats of lacquer. And doesn't that really bring out the patina? Because this was very dull originally, but the lacquer really allows all of this corrosion or patina to really pop. And it looks absolutely fantastic and actually gives it a really nice smooth finish. So with those complete, all I have to do now is install all the electrical components. I can get the lampshade on, and then we have ourselves a complete table lamp, and I can show you it in its final form. So a couple of days have passed and I have received all the electrical components, and I've already made a start. So this is what we have. Bulb holder, gone for an old English effect. I think this will go really well with the patina of the jack. And as I mentioned, I've already made a start and I've attached the plug. Easy enough. So what we can do now is I will attach this. That's simple, we just undo the nut. We've got a couple of washers, fibre washers, and get that secured into the top like so. And then I can work out what orientation I'd like the cable to be wrapped around here to make it up underneath here, and then we can wire it into the holder itself, which is simple enough, and I'll show you how I do that. So that's now on. It was a little bit fiddly to get that bit underneath because of these two little bars. As you can see there, got a washer and a fibre washer on top. And then we've got a fibre washer and a steel washer with the nut. So that is secured and I am more than happy with that. So yeah, let's find where we are going to route our cable. Obviously start from the bottom, and I'm thinking maybe wrap it around here and make our way up and in, and then up into the bulb holder. Now to get this off, or to make access, this top part simply unscrews, and then this bit pops out, and you can just about see here. So the center one is the earth, and then it doesn't matter which one you use, live and neutral, on this left and right here. So I will use my little watchmaker's screwdrivers to undo the little screws, strip this end of the wire once I've passed it through. That's why I've put some tape. It does help in passing through the center of this. So yeah, let me work out how I'm going to feed this up, and then I can get this wired in to the fixing. So this is the first option, where we just go from underneath and we almost hide it behind this here and around the pins. So it is on show, but it's not as obvious as if we wrap it around these bits here, which I think is what I'm going to try next. That's the route that I had in my mind, and is the route which I took previously with the lamp that I've produced in the past. So yeah, that's option one. This is the second option. So as I mentioned, sort of wrap it around these arms here. I'm not actually quite sure now I've done it. I might have a little play. I kind of like this idea, but I think I want to neaten it up just that little bit more. But yeah, they're the two options. Like I said, it'll be good to know what you guys think. Do I go more of the hidden route, or do I go more of the sort of decorative, obvious route? I'm not quite sure now. But yeah, I'm going to go with one. It's easily replaced or removable, sorry, if I want to. I just got to disconnect the wires, and then I can reroute it and have a play around. But yeah, let me have a play about, and then I'll see what decision I come up with. So this is the route I'm actually going to go with, and I've actually gone with the hidden route. So in at the bottom, hidden behind here, a bit of a twist around this one, and then we follow it behind here and around and up through. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. So now I can strip back the wires, and we can get it fitted to this, put all this back together, put a bulb in it and test it, and fingers crossed, all is good. So before I put the lampshade on, we will test it with a bulb, and I have gone for an absolute whopper. Look at that. Vintage style bulb, but LED, so much more efficient, and hopefully it will look okay once I've got the lampshade on. But yeah, let's plug it in and see if this works. Okay, so fingers crossed, if we press this, yes, we have ourselves some light. So now we know that works. Let's get the lampshade on, and let's see this in its finished and final form. So there we are then, guys. It is all done and complete. I'd love to know what you guys think. And as soon as I saw this scissor jack, I knew I had to have it, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And do you know what? I'm really, really happy with that. And that's going to be a nice addition to my collection. So yeah, like I said, I'd love to know your opinion. I do love carrying out work like this. It's just a bit random. I'm trying to use things which normally you wouldn't think that would make a good piece of furniture. But yeah, I've definitely got more of this type of project up and coming. Some table lamps, and yeah, some side tables also out of some car parts which I've rescued from the farm. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please whack the subscribe button, and I hope to catch you guys in the next one.